Okay. Hey guys, so today, let me tell you something that's annoying me. We are not finishing this challenge anytime soon. That's what's annoying me. We are making zero progress at all, and my throat hurts, and everything is going wrong. And okay, let me tell you what I actually think. My tea here. So hot. And no. Okay, so basically, made this challenge to gain attention, right? Read the Bible. And it's getting zero attention. And I can't stream any other game till I finish this challenge, which is gonna take me 120 days at the pace I'm going, which is actually more because last stream we read one page, right? So new plan, we're gonna spam this Bible challenge until we finish it because everything else is everything else is limited by the Bible finishing. Then I can play games, finish this challenge, then we can move on with our lives. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stream 2 times per day. And when am I gonna have time to make videos? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna figure that out. But I wanna finish this challenge and it's not going anywhere and my throat hurts. And yesterday, let's talk about life for a few minutes before we just start reading the Bible. Yesterday, I popped the 1,000 balloons in my room and cleaned it all up and make 7 YouTube shorts about it and posted it all, edited it all on my 4 social medias. And when I try to pop the balloon, it's a nail clipper, right? There's some blistering. I don't think you can see. I don't think you can see. Like, it's over here. Do you see this blister? It's because I hold a nail clipper and do it 1,000 times, and after 1,000 times, it blister my hand. And okay, what do I have to say? My throat hurts because I talk too loud. Maybe I should just go closer to the mic and talk softer. Then I can talk for longer. And then we don't need to stop streaming so early every time because my throat hurts. Because I'm always shouting at the microphone. So if I just talk like this normally, how does the audio sound? Okay, so all I need to do right is to sit close to the microphone. And not only that, do you like this new angle of my camera? I know it's not the highest angle. I'll clean you guys up. But it's way better than when it was at the start when it was so low. Then I was like this. They're looking up to me. But now I lifted you guys up so that you guys can get a better angle of me. And let's get to it. We're at page 36, right, from yesterday. Let's see, so we can't full screen this for some reason. You know why? Because if we full screen this, you guys can't see the bottom words. Or do you guys? Okay, I'm making an executive decision that we're gonna read the Bible full screen no matter what. And you see these words on the bottom here where I highlighted. I know you guys can't see it, but I'll just read it out so you guys don't need to see it. Okay, executive decision made by me because I'm the streamer here. So yeah, because it's annoying to see the bottom and the top every time, and not only that, I have to full screen and unfull screen depending on how big the bottom page is. And if not, my face can have to be so small that you can't even see my face. Then what's the point? So executive decision made by me. Okay, if you don't like it, then I don't know, what can you do? Now this is the history of the generation of Esau. There's Edom. Esau took his wives from the daughter of Canaan, Ada, the daughter of Elon Musk, the Hittite, and the Ohibama, and the daughter of Anna, the daughter of Zibeon, and the Hivite, and the Basemath, Ishmael's daughter and sister of Nebaioth. Ada bore to Esau Elisaphat. Basemath bore to Reu, Obalama bore to Jerus, Jalam, and Korah. These are the sons of Esau who were born to him in the land of Canaan. Esau, let me see. Esau took his wives, his sons, and his daughters, and the members of his household with his livestock and all his animals and all his possessions which were gathered in the land of Canaan, and went into a land away from his brother Jacob, for their substance was too great for them to dwell together, and the land of travellers couldn't bear them because of their livestock. Esau lived in the hill country of Seir. Esaru is Edom. This is the history of the generation of Esau, the father of the Edomites in the hill country of Seir. These are the names of Esau's sons: Ephelas, the son of Idah, the wife of Esau, and Reuel. Reuel, the son of Basemath, the wife of Esau. The sons of Ephelas were Teman, Omar, Zephyr, and Gatam, and Kenaz. Ma was concubine to Iphizas, Esau's son, and she bore to Esphazar Alamlek. These are the descendants of Ada, Esau's wife. These are the sons of Reu, Natah, Zahra, Shammah, and Mizah. These are the descendants of Basemath, Esau's wife. These are the sons of Obamala, the daughter of Analah, the daughter of Zebeon, Esau's wife. She bore to Esau, Jushush, Jalam, Korah. Okay, we're here. If you're wondering, we're here. These are the chiefs of the sons of Esau. The sons of Ephalmas, the firstborn of Esau, chief Teman, chief Omar, chief Zephu, chief Kenza, chief Korah, chief Gatam, chief Amalek. These are the chiefs who came to Ephalas in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Ada. These are the sons of Reu, Esau's sons: chief Natala, chief Zara, chief Shamalah, chief Mizah. These are the chiefs who came to Reu, the land of Edom. These are the sons of Basemath, Esau's wife. These are the sons of Olibama, Esau's wife: chief Jesu, chief Jalam, chief Korah. These are the chiefs who became Obilama, the daughter of Anna, Esau's wife. Yeah, this is way better where I don't have to keep shouting into my mic for no reason. Am I crazy? I can just talk in a normal, soft and quiet volume. And none of you are going to comment anyway, so what's the point? I don't need to be so energetic. I'd rather be, but because of my throat. So as we're doing super long challenges like these, it's better for my throat. These are the sons of Esau, that's Edom. These are their chiefs. These are the sons of Seir and Horite, and the inhabitants of the land: Lotan, Shobah, Gibeon, Anah, Dishon, Ezer, Dishan. These are the chiefs who came to Horite, the children of Seir, in the land of Edom. The children of Lotan were Hori, and Heman. Lohan's sister was Timah. These are the children of Shobal, Elvan, Manahan, Elba, Shepo, and Onam. These are the children of Zibeon, Ai, Anna. This is too many names and too many children, too many descendants that I don't remember anything. Basically, I don't remember anything. These are Anna, who found the hot springs in the wilderness and fed donkeys to Zebeon, his father. These are the children of Anna: Dishon, Obahama, the daughter of Anna. These are the children of Dishon: Emda, Eshpa, Iteran, and Sharon. These are the children of Ezer: Bihan, Zavan, Akan. These are the children of Dishan: Uz, and Aran. These are the chiefs who became Horites: Chief Lotan, Chief Shobal, Chief Zibeon, Chief Anna, Chief Dion, Chief Ezer, and Chief Dishan. These are the chiefs who came of the Horites, according to chief in the land of Seir. These are the kings who reigned in the land of Edom. Before any king reigned over the Children of Israel, Bela, the son of Begor, reigned in Edom. The name of the city was Dinhabah. Bela died, and Jobab, the son of Zerah of Borazah, reigned in his place. Jacob died. Jobab died, and Husham of the land of Temanites reigned in his place. Husham died, and Hanan, the son of Bedah, who struck Midian in the field of Moab, reigned in his place. The name of his city was Envis. Hanan died, and Samalah of Makara reigned in his place. Samalah died, and the shower of Rehoboth by the river reigned in his place. Sharu died, and Baal Hanan, son of Arbor, reigned in his place. Baal Hanan, son of Arbor, died, and Hadar reigned in his place. The name of the city was Pau. His wife's name was Metabel, daughter of Meteret, the daughter of Mezahab. These are the names of the chiefs who came to Israel according to their families and their places by the names of Chief Tamar, Chief Avra, Chief Jateh, Chief Obima, Chief Elha, Chief Pinion, Chief Kansas, Chief Teman, Chief Mizpah, Chief Migdal, Chief Iram. These are the chiefs of Edom, according to the inhabitants of the land of their possession. This is Esau, the father of Edomites. Nice. Page 37 now. Jacob lived in the land of his father's travel, in the land of Canaan. This is the history of the generation of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brothers. He was a boy with the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah, his father's wife. Joseph brought an evil report to them, to their father. Now Israel loved, and if you don't know who's Israel, Israel is Jacob. Israel is Jacob. He just renamed by God to Israel. Right? I think so. He loved Joseph more than all his children because he was a son of his old age, and he made him a tunic of many colors. I noticed in the Bible, the parents love one sibling more than another. So is that real in real life? His brothers saw that their father Jacob loved him more than all his brothers, and they hated him and couldn't speak peaceably to him. See, this is what it results in. Joseph dreamed a dream. He told his brother that they hated him all the more. He said to them, "Please hear this dream, which I have dreamed. For behold, we were binding the sheaves in the field, and behold, my sheaf arose and also stood upright, and behold, your sheaves came around and bowed down to my sheaf." His brothers asked him, "Will you indeed reign over us? Will you indeed have..." Why is my throat hurting? I'm gonna find a Strepsil or something. They hated him all the more for his dreams and for his word. He dreamed yet another dream and told it to his brothers and said, Behold, I have dreamed yet another dream, and behold, the sun and the moon and 11 stars bowed down to me. That's Joseph saying that. He told it to his father and his brother. His father rebuked him to say, What's this dream you have dreamed? And will I and your mothers and your brothers indeed bow down ourselves to the earth before you? His brother envied him, but his father kept saying this in mind. Well, I'm pretty sure the dad, right? Which is Joseph's dad, right? Which is Israel. He's like okay with his son being above the other brothers, but once his son is above himself now, right? Then he's like, no, it's not okay. So you see, the flaws of all the people in this Bible, at least in Genesis, because they have a lot of flaws, like Abraham and Lot, and now Jacob, or also known as Israel now. His brother went to feed the flooded stock in Shechem. Israel said to Joseph, Aren't your brothers feeding the flock in Shechem? Come, and I will send them to you. He said to him, Here I am. I am. It's a very powerful word. Maybe in the New Testament, that's how Jesus says he's God. I am. But maybe in the Old Testament, we don't know the meaning of this word. I am yet. He said to him, Now go see whether it's well with your brothers and well with the flock, and bring me word again. So he sent him out of the valley of Hebron and came to Shechem. A certain man found him, and behold, he was wandering the field. And the man asked him, What are you looking for? He said, I'm looking for my brothers. Please tell me, please. Where are they feeding the flock? The man said, They have left here, for I heard them say, Let's go to Dothan. Okay, let's pause here and I'll talk about something. So, remember for the Tower of Babel, right, where they built the large tower to God, to the sky, right? And then God scattered them all to different places and changed all their languages so they can't talk to each other, right? So in this text, translated version, because the original text is in Hebrew, and it's the World English Bible, so it's translated into English. It says, let's build a tower to the sky and let's make a name for ourselves. So that's the reason, right? Okay, that's the reason that God scattered them, right? So my aunt said, which is, I think she's wrong, she said that they wanted to be greater than God or reach to the heavens, right? But it's different translations. Some translation says the tower reached to heaven, and then make a name for themselves means they want to be as great or greater than God. But what I said is, we don't know that, because all the text says is, let's make a tower to the sky and make a name for ourselves. So she's biased, right? Because she's a Christian. So she's biased that it's a biased source that says she thinks that they want to be greater than God or be rich, basically blasphemous kind of thing, right? But my counter to that is, it's not written explicitly in the text that they are blasphemous towards God. What if they wanted to make a name for themselves? And okay, let's give an example now. Burj Khalifa now, which is probably higher than the Tower of Babel, right? And what do they want to do? Maybe make a name for themselves, right? Maybe not in the way that they want to challenge God or make it blasphemous towards God, right? So what if, back then, the Babel thing, all they wanted to do was make a name for themselves, and God made the decision to punish them, which is pretty ruthless. It's a nice way to say it. And because if it's so important that they they challenge God, right? Let's say assuming they challenge God by making a tower so high they reach to the heaven, right? If it's so important that it's blasphemous and disrespects God, it would be translated into the text of every language. It would write in English that they disrespected God by doing that, but they didn't. So if they didn't explicitly write that they disrespected God by creating the tower so high, that means it's up to your interpretation whether what they did was wrong and whether God's judgment is right. Yeah, that's what I think. And not only that, for the other thing also, which is the wicked town of Sodom, right? So what my aunt said when she did some research, right, in the Hebrew stuff, they said the town was filled with homosexuals and people that just like to how to say it in a PG way, like to sleep around. Okay, I would just say that, sleep around. So, but you know what is not written in that text, because we read through the World English Bible that day, a few days ago. It didn't say that. They just said they were sinners and they were wicked, but they didn't explicitly say that they were homosexuals and they like to sleep around, right? That's why God killed them in a blaze of fire, or sent the angels to kill them, right? So, if it's not explicitly written in the text that's translated into English, how do we know? Like, how do we know? I mean, of course you can say, why not just get the original translation from Hebrew, learn Hebrew and do that. But no, because not everybody has the means to learn a different language. And why should we learn a different language to read the original text? You know, like when there's an English Bible in front of us. You know, like, okay, I'm just saying that, okay, let's say this information is in the Bible, right? In the book of the Bible, but there's like extra stuff, right? That is not in the book of the Bible, right? How do you expect normal, everyday people to know about the extra stuff, like they are homosexuals, when it's not explicitly written in the text of the Bible? And if it's important enough, it would have been written and translated into the text of the Bible, right? So let's say important stuff like Noah's Ark, 2 of every animal, right? And 7 of every clean animal. So that's super important. And God. And they translated exactly what they wrote. So if it's not translated, that means it's not important. Not that important. Okay, if it's not translated, my way of saying it is it's up to my interpretation, how I interpret the words of the Bible we are reading, right? What was my point? My point is my aunt is biased. That's my point. She's biased in God's judgment, right? So everything that is written in the Bible, right? She's with it 100%. Like for God and Abraham, where Abraham wants to kill his own firstborn son, right? She said that God knew everything. Okay, and it's a test. Okay, I know it's a test also, right? But Abraham didn't know it's a test, right? And had full faith in God to kill his only son, right, as a sacrifice. But I don't know. She's just biased towards the text of the Bible. But I'm not religious, so I question everything. And I question, why is it even a good thing that God asked him to kill his only son? I know blind faith towards God. Yeah, I know that. But morally, like your son, your innocent son that you killed, you're gonna kill. And you can say it's just a test, right? It's just a test. You won't actually kill it. The angels will come and stop you. Yeah. But it's not that. It's you didn't know that. You didn't know the angels is coming. That's why it's a test, right? If the God said, I know the angels, I'm gonna send the angels to stop you from killing your only son, it wouldn't be a test. So from that, right, we know, 100% know, that Abraham would kill his only son to sacrifice to God. Yeah. And my aunt thinks like Abraham is like, whoa, this faith, a man of faith or whatever. All I see is a man, a murderous man. Can I say that? I don't know. It's written in the Bible. He would have killed his only son. So, who am I to say? Who are you to say I'm wrong about that? And what I'm saying is blasphemous. If it's blasphemous, why is it written in the Bible? What else do I want to say? Yeah, there's a lot of flawed people in the Bible and flawed judgment from God, in my opinion. Like the killing of the whole town of Sodom. Then God said in the Bible, if there's 10 righteous people in the whole town, he wouldn't kill the whole town. So you tell me the whole town of thousands of people. There's not even 10 righteous people. And Noah's flood also. After Noah's flood, he said he will never do something that will kill the entire world, right? Again. But he killed the entire town. So it's not lying per se. But it's like God saying, I am not gonna harm any sinners, right? Okay, let's say he said that. But then he made them sick. So it's a loophole. So you don't kill the whole world, you kill a town. So what? And one more thing I want to say before we continue, because I have a lot of problems with the decision of God in Genesis, is that the reason he used Noah's flood is because there was like a lot of problems, right? A lot of sinners or a lot of wicked people around the world, right? And he let Noah and his descendants live, right? He brought Noah, his 3 sons, and his 3 sons' wife, and Noah's wife, so 8 people, right? And maybe their grandchildren also, wasn't specified. So he brought the righteous bloodline from Noah down, right? And killed everybody else. And what did that result in? Because we know the Tower of Sodom came after Noah, right? So everybody from Sodom and every wicked sinner and homosexuals apparently is descendants from Noah. And not only that, the Tower of Babel, everybody there is descendant of Noah and his bloodline, right? Because that's the only bloodline that survived the flood. So how does that make sense? You kill everybody except Noah because he's righteous, and the result is his descendants are not righteous. So that doesn't make sense. You kill everybody else, resulting in the same problem again. So might as well let everybody else live. So you kill them for no reason. What I'm saying, let everybody else live and go in the way of Jesus Christ. We're gonna learn in the New Testament that everybody is sinners and we should give them a chance to repent, because everybody is a sinner. You watching is a sinner right now, and everybody is a sinner. So why kill some sinners and why kill some sinners and the result is down the line, hundreds of years later, they're gonna be sinners anyway. So you just murdered people for no reason. That's how I see it. And if you are really a really devout Christian like my aunt, and you think that God knows everything, right? And every decision he made is right and just in the Bible of Genesis. Let's talk about Genesis. I think you should read Genesis again, because read it again, but like actually read it, not just read the words, but try to like put yourself in the shoes of God, put yourself in the shoes of the people he killed, put yourself in the shoes of every character. Because my aunt told me when she read the Bible, she just take the word for it, what it is. But if you really try to understand everybody's way of thinking and judgment, it doesn't really come off as very righteous. God, not only God, all the people, Abraham, Lot. Now we look at Israel, which is Jacob. They don't seem very righteous. Yeah. So I just want to say that. Okay, that's my takeaway. But and if you're biased towards God, right, and every decision he make, just just try to see it from a different point of view. And one more thing, right? So we learned that some stuff is not explicitly written in the Bible, right? As my aunt said. And when God asked Jacob to kill his only son, that's I said, because it's not written in the Bible, I said I would have just asked God why. Then my aunt said that, how do you know Abraham didn't ask God why, his reason? Because it wasn't written in the Bible. So if it wasn't written, it can be yes and no. But my counter to that, if it's really important that he asked God his rationale, it would have be written in the Bible. And if it's left not written, then I'm gonna assume is he didn't ask, right? We can't just assume everything that's not written is good in the Bible. Not good for like how to say, everything that's not written in the Bible is like favors the decision of God and every main character, right? So we can imagine there was a passage that says let's say Abraham, this is not real by the way, Abraham left his wife to die, right? Let's say he left his wife to die. That's the statement, right? And it was not explicitly written whether it was for moral good. Like let's say he tried to save his wife, but he couldn't, right? So if the text in the Bible say he left his wife to die, right, we should be rightly be in the right to assume that he just left his wife to die for no good reason, because it's not written that he tried to save her. So if it's that important he tried to save her, it will be written in the text. And a lot of things, right, that's not written in the text. My aunt, this is just for my aunt. My aunt just assumes it's good. There's some good behind it, but it's not written, so you don't know. But if it's that important to be written, it would be written already in the text, and I spent this long just yapping. Yeah, so that's my takeaway. But if you didn't know why I think like this, because do you see what happened in Genesis? There's so many bad things that God did, and not only God did, Abraham did, Lot did, Israel did. There's so many bad things that they do, and they are like the prophets, all the good guys in the story. So, yeah, I know like when Jesus comes in the second half, it will be better, you know. But in the first Old Testament, it's so bad that, you know, once let's say God made a questionable decision, let's say to flood and kill everybody else in the world, right? Noah's Ark. Okay, so you take it once, then he killed the entire town of Sodom. Okay, then after that, I'm going to question every decision he make, because he don't make one questionable decision. He just made more and more questionable decisions. And God, okay, not God, my aunt prayed to God, because I was talking to her about all this, right? And she's a pastor. She's a pastor, and she don't know the answer, right, to why there's so many questionable decisions in the Bible. And it's not wrong for me to question the Bible, because she says it's not wrong to question the Bible, because she don't think that way when she read it, right? And she don't know the answers to my questions about why so many questionable decisions. So she prayed to God to give me the answers to why, right? She asked God to tell me why. So did God tell me why? Not really, but maybe he put in the idea in my head for me to say to you now that maybe we should question the Bible. We shouldn't take everything at face value. So let's see. Look. What if God told me, right? Okay, not told me. Put this idea in my head that what if we should question the Bible, right? So he put the story of Abraham blindly trusting God to kill his own son, right? But actually, the moral of the story is not to blindly trust God. Because everybody that reads it and think logically feels kind of uncomfortable, right? But they don't dare to say it. Okay, I dare to say it because I dare to say anything. So, okay. So what if when my aunt prayed to God to give me the answers, the answer is that we shouldn't blindly trust God and his judgment. Oh, you know why? Okay. I got some good ideas. Maybe God gave me these good ideas. Okay, we know. Any spoilers alert? Spoiler alert. After the whole Bible, right? So, the Antichrist is gonna come, right? The Antichrist that is gonna do miracles like God, right? He's gonna do miracles like God. And everybody's gonna worship him because he's gonna come at a time where everything in the world is bad and suffering. And he's gonna help a lot of people, right? And he's gonna mark them with a symbol of 666 or something, and then they cannot go to heaven, right? Because okay, so basically Satan, right? But maybe it's not. Okay, what's not important? The important thing, right, is that Antichrist is gonna come to this world in the future, and everybody gonna like blindly trust him, right? Not blindly, but he's gonna trust him. But what if this story made me question God's judgment? But the reason is for God to tell me that maybe we should question anybody that does miracles, because in the future, the Antichrist is gonna come and do miracles, and if you think he's God, we are gonna be mistaken and go to hell. Oh, wait, that makes a lot of sense. And did my aunt prayer work? Because the idea came to my head. Maybe it's from God. So that is very smart. Okay, let's say it's true. Whatever I say is true. This whole story is for us to learn a lesson to not blindly trust people, because Satan can be disguised as God. Disguised, right? So that's very smart. So if God wrote the Bible, right? So he put a lesson here for people to question him and his judgment, so that he knows he got this future prediction that when the Antichrist comes, it's better that way, because more people will question the Antichrist. Whoa, everything makes sense. So if I tell my aunt that, will she believe? And if you're hearing this right now, that is kind of smart, right? It's kind of smart. Yeah, it's kind of smart, because it's like so many layers. It's like okay, imagine God made you go through something bad, but actually it's something good, and then it's something bad, then it's something good at the end of the something bad. So there's so many layers that humans, just mere humans, don't really understand it at first. But as time goes on, maybe it's all part of God's plan. Wow. So that's my theory, and I hope I'm right. Okay, Joseph went after his brothers and found them in Dothan. They saw him afar off, and before he came near to them, and conspired against him to kill him. They said to one another, "Behold, this dreamer comes. Come, therefore, let's kill him, and cast him into the pit, and we will say, an evil animal has devoured him. We will see what will become of his dreams." Reuben heard it and delivered him out of their hand and said, "Let's not take his life." Reuben said to them, "Shed no blood, and throw him into the pit. This pit that is the wilderness, but lay no hands on him, that he might deliver him out of their hand, to restore him to his father." When Joseph came to his brothers and stripped Joseph of his tunic, the tunic of many colors that was with him. Wait, I want to talk about that again. So, right, so in the text of Genesis, if you read it word for word and don't think about it, right, you'll think to trust God blindly, right, have faith in God. And if you are the person that questions everything, right? The skeptical, like me, you take it as don't trust God, right? Okay, don't trust his actions blindly. Let's say blindly and don't not blindly. So if the Antichrist came to the world and people that are super believe in God, right, will have utmost faith in God, right? But they might get deceived, but they still will have faith in God, and that will protect them from the Antichrist. And people who are skeptical like me will not even fall for the tricks of the Antichrist because we are skeptical already. So we'll see, oh, maybe he's not really God. Although he can do miracles, but he's doing it for nefarious means. So we won't fall into the trap. So that way, if God wrote the Bible, he wrote it such that both if you have faith in him, 100% faith in him, you will be saved. And if you're skeptical, which is also a lesson he want to teach to you, you also will be saved. Whoa! Is that what God is trying to tell us? He's making a same story, one story, the Bible. But many people that read it will have different results, and all the results will be good at the end of the day. Because he's so smart. Is it? Yeah. So any way you read the Bible, and any way you interpret it to yourself, it probably is the best version for you. Right? Right. So I read the Bible, right? And I interpret it this way. I question a lot of judgments. And not only question a lot of judgments, I make a lot of connections, right? So maybe it's the best way, it's not best way, best outcome. Because for me, personally, as someone who, I don't know, like to think, I don't like to think, but I have to think because, yeah, I'm forced to think about all this stuff. Because what's the point? Yeah, so maybe that's why my aunt took the Bible's word for word without questioning it, because that's the best path for her to live her life, to just let God take control of her life, put her life in God's hand. But maybe for me, I want to decide what I want to do, so that's why I read it this way. That's very interesting. And maybe he's right. Yeah. If you're watching this, it's like the same thing can happen to different people, and you can take it a certain way, right? You can take it like, oh, why did this happen to me? Maybe somebody else will think, oh, this is a lesson from God, and somebody else will think, wow, I'm so lucky, or something. Maybe the Bible is the same way. Every way you read the Bible, if you read it, no matter what, right? So if you read it, even if you believe in God, you don't believe in God, you love God, you don't like Christianity, if you read the Bible, right, it will have the best outcome for you personally, because God is so smart, right? Is that the moral of the story? Yeah. Because if you blindly trust God and all the judgment written in the Bible, you will become a man or woman of faith, 100% faith, which is very good. But if you also question everything, you'll be someone, maybe God wanted you to be someone skeptical, because we need some skeptical people in the world that thinks things through and don't blindly follow. So boom. And not only that, maybe there's like a million outcomes. Not only can you be blindly trusting God or not blindly trusting God, you may can be like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, different stuff. Maybe it can make you a better swimmer, a bit better athlete. Maybe if you see it through that lens. Who knows? Or if you want to be a content creator like me, what if I read this and then somehow I'll become a better content creator? Who knows? So did I crack the code? Any priests out here watching this, did I crack the code? Because I had a lot of good theories in my previous streams. And if you didn't watch that, you should watch my previous theory, because that was a very good theory about the 3 Bibles thing. Okay, so I'm here to give a lot of good theories, huh? Who knows? And they took him and threw him into a pit, and the pit was empty. There was water in it. They sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and saw a caravan of Ishmaelites coming from Gilead, with their camels bearing spice and balm and myrrh, and going to carry down to Egypt. Judah said to his brothers, "What profit is it if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let's sell him to Ishmaelites." Wait, who are they killing? Oh, his brother is killing Joseph. Okay. Judah said to his brothers, "What profit if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let's sell him to the Ishmaelites and not let our hand be on him, for he is our brother, our flesh." His brothers listened to him. Midianites, who were merchants, passed by, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit, and Joseph to Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. The merchants brought Joseph into Egypt. Reuben returned to the pit and saw Joseph wasn't in the pit and tore his clothes. He returned to his brother and said, "The child is no more, and where will I go?" They took Joseph's tunic and killed a male goat and dipped the tunic in blood. They took the tunic of many colors and they brought to their father and said, "We have found this, examine it. Now see if it's your son's tunic or not." He recognized it and said, "It's my son's tunic, and evil animal has devoured him." Joseph is without a doubt torn in pieces. Jacob tore his clothes and put a sackcloth on his waist and mourned for his sons many days. All his sons and daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. He said, "For now I'll go down to Sheol, which is the place of the dead, to my son's mourning." His fathers were here, and Midianites sold him into Egypt to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's, the captain of the guard. Can we read until page 40? Then I'll go do some training. I'll go swim and have dinner, and I'll make a second stream tonight and rest my voice also. At the time, Judah went down from his brother and visited a certain Edomite, whose name was Hira. There Judah saw the daughter of a certain Canaanite named Manasseh. He took her and went in to her. She conceived and bore a son. He named him conceived again and bore a son, and she named him Onan, and yet she bore a son and named him Shelah. It was at Shezbib when she bore him. Judah took a wife for his firstborn, and her name was Tamar. Judah's firstborn was wicked in the Lord's sight, so the Lord killed him. Judah said to Onan, "Go in your brother's wife and perform the duty of a husband's brother to her, and raise up offspring for your brother." Onan knew that offspring wouldn't be his, and when he went into his brother's wife, he spilled his semen on the ground. He went into his brother's wife. That's weird. This should give offspring to his brother. The thing which he did was evil in the Lord's sight. Yeah, it is. And he killed him also. He, as in God, killed him. Then Judah said to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, okay, I know it's bad, right? That he assaulted his brother's wife, right? But is it justifiable that God killed him? You know, God killed him. Why? Because it's a sin, right? Or you mean he as in the brother killed him? It's not specified. The thing is, he did was even in the Lord's side, and he killed him also. He killed him. Okay, maybe it's the brother, because we don't see he used as God until the New Testament when Jesus Christ came, right? There is a he. So let's assume it's not God, right? But it's the brother that killed him. Then Judah said to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, remain a widow in your father's house until Shelah, my son, is grown up. For he said, lest he die like his brother. Tamar went and lived in his father's house. After many days, Shelah, daughter of the wife of Judah, died. Judah was comforted and went up to his sheep to shears to Timah and his friends Hira, the Aldumite. Wait, okay, I want to talk more. Okay, why do I always want to talk? But, okay, where do we stop? Here. It's almost like, okay, my theory is true, and everybody interprets the Bible differently for the greatest good of themselves, because God planned it that way, because He's so smart. It's almost like a job, you know. Like if the people are not destined, but like best path in life is to work a 9 to 5, right? God will make them work a 9 to 5. That's their path, right? But if their path is, they are very different from normal people like me and drop out of school, maybe God knows that. Okay, God knows everything. So God knows that, right? And He will make them have a very how to say weird, very very unique path in life. Not unique, unconventional. Yeah, that's the word. Very unconventional path in life, right? So yeah, okay, that's why some people become streamers, YouTubers. Some people become swimmers. Like some, as long as it's not a conventional 9 to 5, right? Maybe God knows that they are not normal, as not conventional people. So their path in life, God will put them into an unconventional path in life because that's who they are. So by that logic, right? If I read the Bible, right? I read the Bible, and I'm unique in, as in, I question every judgment. I even think God's judgment is wrong sometimes. But most people just take it word for word, right? Because it's the Bible, everything is correct. But God knows that I'm weird, so I question everything, right? So my path in life, He knows that I'm weird, right? And unconventional. So He'll make my path in life weird also, because it suits me as a person. So what if my path in life is to read the Bible on stream, right? And post the video online to share my weird thoughts with everybody else, right? So they'll know, right? Because if it's a conventional thought that every God judgment is right? God don't need to do that, because everybody already knows God judgment is right. But what if I'm here to say, wait, maybe we should question and be skeptical of everything we see, and God wants you guys to know that too. Be skeptical and also have faith. Like, I don't know how to say it, but you should be skeptical and have faith, both. But most people have a lot of faith, but they don't question stuff. So their faith level, right, is here at 100. But anything related to God, right, they don't question at all. So it's 0 to 100. But God, maybe He knows that I'm like the opposite. I'm 100% skeptical and 0 faith. So He wants the normal people to have 100% faith and 50% skeptic. So when the Antichrist comes along, they'll be like, no, you are not God. I see through your tricks, because I have 100% faith in God, and not only that, I'm skeptical of anything that happens, because you are just a man or Satan. So, why? So that makes sense. That's how my brain works. So it's my job by God to read the Bible in a different light than most people read it. Right. So if you go to YouTube and you type reading the entire Bible by somebody, right? What would they do? Read the entire Bible, right? Would they say their own thoughts? No. Would they question God? No. Would they question Abraham and his decisions? No. But you see me, I question everything. That's why we read the Bible so slowly, right? But what if that's what God planned? He planned for me to broadcast this because it's important to have a different point of view of the Bible. Can you imagine that? The same Bible, but we should have different point of views, and it's beneficial in the long run, apparently. That's my idea. And that's my idea that my aunt prayed God to give me the idea to answer the questions, because I have so many questions about the Bible. So she prayed that God will give me the answers, and maybe these are the answers God gave me from the prayer. So now, you can't be like, hey, this guy's anyhow making up stuff. Maybe I am, but my aunt prayed, so I've got on my side. So let's continue. Haman was told, behold, the father-in-law is going up to Tanya to shear his sheep. She took off the garments of her widowhood and covered herself with veil and wrapped herself and sat in the gate of Enam, which is on the way to Timnah, for she saw that Salah was grown up. She wasn't given to him as a wife. When Judah saw her, he thought she was a prostitute, for she had covered her face. Can you even hear me? There's a loud sound going on. Cover her face. He turned to her by the way and said, please come, let me come in you, for he didn't know she was his daughter-in-law. Yeah, we know that because the guy, right, was when he grown up, something happens. So he grown up and that thing happened. He said, what will you give me that you may come into me? He said, I will send you a young goat from the flock. He said, you'll give me a pledge until you send it. He said, what pledge will I give you? She said, your singlet at your cord and your staff is in your hand. Pledge. He gave them to her and came into her, and she conceived by him. She's who to him? Daughter-in-law. Wait, I thought the guy was younger than the girl. You see, I thought my son is grown up. I'm quite confused, but let's just continue. I thought the girl, this girl, the widow, is super old, and the guy just became an adult. But I guess I'm not sure. She arose and went away and put a veil from her and put on the garments of her widowhood. Judah sent a young goat. Yeah, widowhood, so she's old enough to be a widow. Judah sent a young goat by the hand of his friend the Amnudite and received the pledge from the woman's hand, but he didn't find her. Then he asked the man of her place, saying, where's the prostitute that was at Enam by the road? They said, there is no prostitute here. So he knows something is sus. He returned to Judah and said, I haven't found her. And also the man of the place said, there is no prostitute here. Judah said, let her keep it, lest we be shamed. We be shamed. Behold, I sent this young goat. You haven't found her. About 3 months later, Judah was told, Tamar, your daughter-in-law has played the prostitute. Your daughter-in-law, but she's a widow. I don't understand. So how old is the guy? She's a widow, that means the guy is super old. So I'm not really sure. Or maybe the girl is daughter-in-law. Yeah, must be younger. Daughter-in-law. Daughter-in-law. Wait. Daughter-in-law. That sounds weird. Wait. There is no such thing as a daughter-in-law. Your daughter-in-law. Because, okay, in-laws. In-laws, right? If you have a daughter, it's not your in-law daughter. It's your daughter. What do you mean in-law? Daughter-in-law. What does that even mean? Like, huh? You don't get a daughter when you marry someone. Oh wait, okay. Oh, I think I understand it. It's like the daughter is not related to him, right? But he married a woman with a daughter already with another man, right? So is his daughter-in-law, not blood related, in-law related. Is that it? It's such a weird term. I've never heard daughter-in-law. Yeah, because your brother-in-law is what the person you married you marry a wife, and your wife's brother is your brother-in-law. So if your wife's daughter is your daughter-in-law, that means it's not your blood related daughter, it's your why that's it. Has played the prostitute. Moreover, behold, she's the child by prostitution. Judas said, bring her out and let her be burnt. Burnt? What? She was brought us. She sent her father-in-law saying, I am with child by the man who owns this. She said, please discern whose these are, the singlet, the cords and the stuff. I think she planned it. She's quite smart to plan this because she knows she will be burnt. Judah acknowledged them and said, she's more righteous than I because I didn't give Salah to Sheila, my son. He knew her again no more. In the time of her travail, behold, twins were in her womb. When she traveled, one put out a hand, and the midwife took and tied a scarlet thread on his hand, saying, this came out first. As he drew back his hand, behold, his brother came out. And she said, why have you made a breach for yourself? Therefore his name was called Perez, breaking out. Afterwards his brother came out, with a scarlet thread on his hand, and his name was called Zerah. Who was called Perez? His brother is called Perez. His name Zerah. I'm so confused. Are they talking about like twins? Okay, so we have twins, right, called Perez and Zerah. Okay, I understand it. 39, and we'll read one more after this. 39, 40, then we'll stop. Joseph was brought down to Egypt. Potiphar, an officer of the Pharaohs, the captain of the guard, and an Egyptian brought him from the hand of Ishmaelites and brought him down there. The Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of the master of Egyptian. His master saw that the Lord was with him, and the Lord made all that he did from his hand prosper from his hand. And I want to say, remember my theory I said like 30 minutes ago about whatever I said? And if you don't like it, you know what I have to say about that? I have to say that's my opinion. So you're getting offended over opinion, firstly. Second thing I have to say is, remember I said my aunt prayed. Okay, she always prayed for me to come to God, right? To Jesus. But I'm not religious, so I'll probably never do that. But she always prayed that I do it, right? And she prayed that the God will answer my questions, right? So if you don't like the theories I laid out, is actually God's answer to my questions. So you don't like it, take it out with God. Joseph found a favor in his sight. He ministered to him, and Potiphar made him overseer of his house and all that he put into his hands. For the time that he made him overseer in his house, all over that he had, the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake. The Lord blessing was all that he had in the house and in the field. All left that he had in Joseph's hand, and he didn't consume. Wait, Joseph is the son of Israel, which is Jacob, which is the son of Noah. Is it Noah? There's too many generations already. No, maybe it's like Isaac, then Noah, right? There's too many names. Why is there so many names? didn't concern himself with anything except for the flood, which he okay. I have another question. Why is there so many names in the Bible? Like we always hear the descendants of the descendants of the descendants and all his sons and their nations, and he died at 180 years old. Wait, why do we need to know that? Okay, I understand. It's history. It's history, right? We don't really need to know every name of everybody. These are descendants of the blah 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 blah. Okay. But but why? There's too many names and I'm getting confused. Okay. Okay, like some people like Canaan, right? This guy got aura. Become the servants of servants, but the whole land is named after him. Okay, Canaan. Okay, I understand. Canaan, Abraham, which is Abraham, Sarah, which is Sarai, Lot and his daughters, Joseph, Isaac, Israel, and the brothers, the Ezra and the other one, and the brothers that killed each other, and Adam and Eve. Okay, those people, right? But we learn like hundreds of names. Okay, hundreds of names. Why do we need to know the hundreds of names? Or can they write it such that like we know who's important in the Bible and who's not? Or yeah. So when they write the descendants are sons blah blah blah, blah and his sons is blah 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 and his sons is blah blah blah, blah. Can they write it such that like everybody in that paragraph is not important? Then you write in another paragraph that this is the important son, which is not mentioned there. This is the important son. Then okay, I'm gonna remember this name, and the rest of the name, forget about it. Because it's too many. And why did I read it until? I didn't even know. Okay, I just go start. Joseph was brought to Egypt. Porah, an officer of Pharaoh's, the captain of the guard, an Egyptian, brought him to the hand of the Ishmaelites and brought him down there. The Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man. He was in the house of his master in Egyptian. His master saw that the Lord was with him, and the Lord made him all that he did prosper in his hand. Joseph found favor in his sight and ministered to him, and Potiphar made him overseer to his house, and all that he put in his hand. For a time he made him overseer in his house and over all that he had. The Lord blessed the Egyptian house for Joseph's sake. The Lord's blessing was all that he had. In the house and in the field, he left all that he had in Joseph's hand. He didn't concern himself with anything except for the food which he ate. Joseph was well built and handsome. After all these things, his master's wife set her eyes on Joseph and said, "Lie with me." His master's? Who's Joseph's master? This Pharaoh, is it? But he refused and said to the master's wife, "Behold, my master doesn't know what is with me in the house, and he has put all the things he has into my hand." Is he the first man in the Bible that is righteous? Because everybody else we read is not righteous. Joseph. So is my respect for Joseph gonna increase? And what happened in Joseph's past? Do I remember anything? Joseph, son of Isaac, right? No, son of Israel, which is Jacob. Joseph is the guy that dreamt that his brothers will rule. He'll rule his brothers, or they'll bow down to him with his father there too. And the 11 stars, right? So maybe this guy, maybe I'll like this guy, because he's the only one that did something right. He's not to sleep with the master's wife. No one is greater in this house that I am, and he has not kept back anything from me but you, because you are his wife. How can then I do this great wickedness and sin against God? Wow. Okay, Joseph, my respect for you improved, but let's see what happens. As he spoke to Joseph day by day, he didn't listen to her, to lie by her, or to be with her. About this time, he went to the house to do his work, and there was none of the men of the house inside, she called him by his garment, saying, "Lie with me." He sounds like a weirdo. He left his garment in her hands and ran outside. When she saw that he left his garments in her hand and ran outside, she called men of her house and spoke to them and said, "Behold, yes, look, this woman wanted to lie with Joseph, but she got rejected so hard that she's going to make up some lie about him." Classic. "Behold, he has brought a Hebrew in to mock us. He came in to lie with me." See? So, what I learned, right, in real life, when somebody like insults you by saying something, it's probably because they are insecure about the same thing, right? So this is a prime example of it. So the wife wanted to sleep with Joseph, but she got rejected so hard that she made up the lie of the opposite, that Joseph want to sleep with her because she's so insecure about it, right? So yeah, and in real life too, when you hear something, some accusation being made, right, by a person that lied, right, it's probably because they are the one doing the thing. So the pot calling the kettle black. So let's see. So I'm liking this Joseph guy more and more because because normally in the Bible story, the guy is not righteous and they get rewarded for it. So this guy Joseph is the total opposite. He is righteous and he's getting punished for being righteous, which is the lie. So, rooting for the guy that actually does right and has a hard time. Hey, Joseph, don't let me down, please. Please, you're kind of cool. And I cried with a loud voice. When he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, he left his garment with me and ran outside. Okay. Okay. So if you're unbiased third party, right? So all you see is the master's wife crying with the garment of Joseph, right? And how will she get the garment of Joseph if Joseph didn't take it off himself, right? So you're like 100% sure that she's telling the truth, but now we know it's not the truth, right? So firstly, if you are one of the guards, right, the man, right, how is like 99.9999 of the time the wife is right based on the evidence, right? But we know it's not, right? But how are you as a guard of the place able to decipher the 0.0001% chance that is wrong? And how can you be so unbiased and yeah, to find it out and not be so emotional that you just kill Joseph right away, right? Because 100%, okay, 99% of the time you are right to kill Joseph. So are the other men of the house, which is the guards, right? Yeah, other men of the house over here, will they be smart enough, or will anybody be smart enough to be unbiased and give Joseph a chance? Or even the master, her husband, will he just be emotional and just believe her wife? So I mean, it's your wife, right? Imagine your wife tells you that, right? Who are you gonna believe, this random Joseph or your wife? So Joseph is like against all the odds. So let's see how Joseph and how the story goes. She laid up his garments by her, which is very, very cunning, to be honest. Because how else are you gonna get the garments of the other person? But we knew that he just took it off and ran away. but yeah. But her story is very good. Very good. Until his master came home. See, the master came home. Let's see what he said. He spoke to him according to this word, saying, "The Hebrew servant whom you have brought to us came in to mock me. I lifted up my voice and cried. He left his garment with me and ran outside. When his masters heard the words of his wife, when she spoke to him, saying, 'This is what your servant did to me,' his wrath was kindled." So he's right to be angry, but he didn't consider the possibility that his wife is lying, and because of that, his wrath is directed at the wrong person. So, what can this teach me? Well, this can teach me that I should think things through. Because even if there was a 0.00001% chance that I am wrong, I might make a decision which I'll regret, right? Even if 0.0001%, it basically will never happen that I'm wrong. Okay, basically not that I'm wrong. Basically, yeah. Basically, yeah, whatever that I'm wrong, right? Basically, there's 0% chance that I'm wrong, but I should just think things through first before I act. At least give Joseph a chance, right? So that's what I think I should do in the future. Because who knows? Maybe the person closest to me is the person that is the greatest snake. Pun intended, because what do you learn? Who was the person that gave Eve the fruit of the Garden of Eden, the tree of knowledge, I think? The snake. But the snake was very close to them. Aha! We don't know. That's why Joseph, master told him and put him into prison, right? See? Prison him already to the place where the king's prisoners were bound. He was there in custody. So let's see whether the master talked to him or anybody questioned him before they just punish him. But the Lord was with Joseph. The Lord knows, okay? God knows. And showed kindness to him and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. So maybe the keeper of the prison also realized that maybe that's one side of the story. We didn't hear the other side. The keeper of the prison committed to Joseph's hand all the prisoners who were in prison. What does that mean? Whatever they did there, he was responsible for it. The keeper of the prison didn't look after anything that was under his hand because the Lord was with him. And that which he did, the Lord made it prosper. Okay, so I just want to say, I say a lot of bad judgment by God, right? And I should say something good of God when he does something good, which is amazing. He stood up for Joseph when nobody else did. So I want to say that. After all these things, the butler of the king of Egypt and his baker offered their lord, the king of Egypt. The Pharaoh was angry with his two officers, the chief cupbearer and the chief baker. He put them in custody in his house of the captain of the guard into prison, place where Joseph was bound. The captain of the guard assigned them to Joseph, and he took care of them. He stayed in the prison many days, and they both dreamed a dream, each man his dream in one night, each man according to the interpretation of his dream. The cupbearer and the baker of king of Egypt were bound in the prison. Joseph came in the morning and saw them and saw that they were sad. Okay, I want to talk about something else. So in life, right, in real life, there are some people that does stuff that maybe they know is not the best. Maybe they gamble. Maybe they post content that's not very appropriate in the eyes of the Lord and God, but they are still Christians, right? Or they believe in God, right? They have a relationship with God, with themselves and God. So they are sinners, right? But their content or their job is not very ethical, let's say. Not very ethical, but they have a connection to God. And because they are a public figure, a lot of people make fun of them, saying, if you're a Christian, you wouldn't be doing that, right? Where am I supposed to go with this? What's my point? Well, my point is that who are the public to judge their relationship with God? You know? What if they are the Joseph of the world, but maybe we don't know the full story of them. What if they are promoting gambling because their family members were sick and they have to pay the hospital bill, so that's their only option, right? But we don't know that, and we are just the men, the guards of the house, and we just put them in prison, which just says we criticize them, but we don't know the full story, and we just told one side of the story. Whoa! But who knows the full story? Them and God, because they have a relationship with each other. So God knows the full story of their life. So maybe we shouldn't criticize people when we see they do something bad, because we don't know the full story, because we are being the guards and also the master, which is the Pharaoh, which just blindly believe the wife. Whoa! So I learned something new today. Which is we can be wrong. The 0.0001% chance that we are wrong. We are criticizing somebody and who doesn't deserve to be criticized. Aha! That's very interesting. Because it always rubs me the wrong way, right? Where people criticize another person for their relationship with God because of their actions. Well, the reason it rubs me the wrong way is because we're all sinners, right? If we believe in the Bible, we are all sinners, right? And who are you morally to judge another sinner when you are a sinner yourself, right? Okay, I understand. Okay, maybe you do something bad, but and it's not appropriate or something, blah 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 blah. But who are you to criticize them? Yeah. Like, okay, you want to criticize their actions is fine, but you can't like say, oh, you are a Christian and you're supposed to be blah 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 blah. Yeah, living opposite to the Christian value. Okay, wait, you can say that, but you can't say that at the same time because you're just a man or woman. You're just a person, right? Unless you're God, then you know. Unless you're God, okay? Are you God? No, you're not God. Okay, you're watching this, you're not God. So if you're watching this and you're not God, so who are you to criticize somebody else's decision in their life, even if it's something bad on the outward, and their relationship with God? So that's what I'm sticking up to. Yeah, that's what I'm sticking up to. Because, okay, I'm sticking up to all the Josephs of this world that maybe in everybody's eyes, they are doing something bad. Right? In everybody's eyes in this story, he slept with the master's wife. But he didn't, right? He didn't. And not only did he not, and the wife lied about him, right? So the opposite happened. So I'm sticking up to all the Josephs of this world that maybe you are misunderstood in this world. And you are getting criticized for it. So that's my takeaway. He asked the Pharaoh's officer who were with him in the custody of the master's house, saying, Why do you look so sad today? They said to him, We have dreamed a dream, and there's no one who can interpret him. Joseph can interpret them. It's a dream. Joseph said to them, Don't interpretations belong to God. Please tell it to me. The chief cupbearer told his dream to Joseph and said to him, In my dream, behold. Okay, we're talking about dreams, right? I have this dream, okay. Yesterday, actually, and I want to say it before I forget about my dreams, because I always forget about my dreams. But if I say it on the internet, it will be forever on the internet, and I can always remember this. My dream is that I had this YouTube channel, right? This one, and I was reposting clips by Offline TV or something. No, okay, one of them group. So I was just taking clips and reposting them, and the clips got so many views. Because it takes 10 million views to get monetized, right, on YouTube. I was reposting it, and one of the clips became 10 million to 32 million views. And but I reposted like 6 of them. Because yesterday I was working on clips of my own channel. If you see the balloons one. So that's why I dreamt about clips. So I dreamt that I got monetized. I told my brother I got monetized. Then he's like, wow, nice. You got monetized because you got 10. It's either you get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, or you get 10 million views on your clips. So I got the other one, right? Then after that happened, the clips on my YouTube channel got removed, and the views got removed also, because it's not my clips. I clip other people. Okay, the logic doesn't really work because it's a dream, right? It's a dream. So actually, it's fair use. I think you just clip a lot of people clip other people's videos, but for my channel, in my dream, the clips got removed and the views got removed because of it, and I didn't get monetized. So I reached back down, and my subscriber lowered also. So below the threshold of monetization, and then after that, I worked. I think I worked on my video and became monetized for real this time with my own content. So yeah, that's my dream. Since we are talking about dreams, that was my dream yesterday. So is that God telling me I will get monetized in YouTube, and YouTube is the way of my life? Not YouTube, like content creation. Because that's so interesting. Do I actually do that? Like maybe, right? Because the way I think is I kind of get obsessive over things, right? And yesterday I was working on my videos until very late in the night. Okay, technically past 12, so the next morning, right? But I was working so much, kept working. So even when I was sleeping, I was just thinking about it. Then I slept, and that's why I dreamt about it. Right? Then I woke up today. I'm like, wait, that's a dream. Because in my mind, right, my YouTube channel was monetized already, but in real life, it's not. So is God telling me? So all of this, right? As we read in the Bible, right, all their dreams, right, is a prophecy, right, that will come true. Right. So what if, because we are reading the Bible and we're trying to use the Bible in our life, what if that is the prophecy of my life to get monetized by myself? And the story is, the moral of the story, if I can think of a moral of the story, is not to try to copy others or use other people's content. Is to do it myself in my own way and do it, although it's not harder, okay, it's slower and I don't get as many views, but it's better than copying somebody else. Is that what God is telling me in my brain? Because the first time I got monetized is because I used other people's content, right? I just took it, put it on my channel, and because of that, it got removed, and my monetizations got removed also. And the next time, I have to work on it, and it's harder to create my own content, but I did it for real, of my own hard work. Is that what God is telling me in my dream? To keep working on my own stuff and stop trying to copy other people and stop stealing their stuff. Oh, I just remembered it because they were talking about dreams over here. Wait, imagine, right? Imagine God is real, and He planted this idea in my head, this dream in my head, right? Which I always forget about my dreams, right? I just forget about it and I don't write it down. But He knows this dream is very important, so I'm gonna plant it in his head, his Glenn Teal's head, about this dream, very vivid dream, right? And because I know he's gonna read the Bible and read until page 40, and the dream over here, this word, is gonna remind him of the dream he had last night. So last night dream will line up with exactly day 8's reading Bible stream. He'll line up exactly, and he'll remember the dream, and he'll say it in the video, and it'll forever be there for him to forever remember this important lesson. Wow. Yeah, so I, as a person, I don't really like to lie, so I'm not lying about the dream I had yesterday. And if you think I'm lying, okay, I'm not. And why would I lie about it? It's just a dream, right? Dream. Behold, a vine was in front of me, and the vine were 3 branches. It was as though as it budded, it blossomed, and the cluster produced ripe grapes. The Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, and I took a grape and pressed them into Pharaoh's cup and gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. So this is dream, right? So my dream was something like that, but the lesson is not in like the dream, right? It doesn't get the lesson. Like your dream will be never be like God telling you make your own content that way. No, it's gonna be like you a dream of some vivid dream. So his dream is to get some grapes and make some wine and pour in the Pharaoh's cup, right? But what is the hidden meaning behind this dream? So, and behind my dream also. So maybe you can figure out the hidden meaning behind this dream, which relates to the hidden meaning behind my dream. Joseph said to him, "This is the interpretation of the 3 branches. 3 branches are 3 days. So 3 branches is 3 days, and my dream got like 10 million views on the highest video, and then it became 32 million views on the highest shot. The 10 million views on the highest shot then became 32 on the highest shots, and I posted like 6 of them. So okay, I don't know whether it's exactly 6, but it's around 6, and it's 32 million views. So what does the 32 million represent? And why is it 10 to 32? You know? And when I posted the video in my dream, my subscriber went up to like 1,000 to reach the threshold. So what does it mean? What does it mean? Can somebody tell me? I need Joseph to tell me what does my 10 million to 32 million mean. Within 3 more days, Pharaoh will lift up your head and restore you to your office. So, okay, what else is 10 to 32 million views? Well, it's gonna be my total views on my channel. So now it's at like 14,000. So at 10,000 to 32, no, at 10 million views in my channel to 32 million views. So this, although it's a short, right? So maybe I'm not gonna get 32 million on a short. So I'm relating it to total views on my channel. So maybe something is gonna happen to my YouTube channel. Something good, I hope, when it's 10 million total views to 32 million total views. You will give Pharaoh's cup into his hand the way you did when you were his cupbearer. So maybe I will get monetized on YouTube when I put in my work on my own content instead of copying other people. So is that what I'm saying? But remember me when it's well with you. Please show kindness to me and make mention of me to Pharaoh and bring me out of this house. For indeed I was stolen away from the land of Hebrews, and here I have done nothing that they should put me into the dungeon. So the end of his dream, right, is the end of his dream. What is gonna actually happen? So give the wine to the Pharaoh, right, is what will happen in the dream of this prisoner. So my last part of my dream also will happen, which is I will get monetized for real with my own content. But the first part, right, the 10 to 32 million views on a short, that is up to interpretation that we need somebody to interpret. When the chief baker saw that the interpretation was good, he said to Joseph, I also was in my dream, and behold, 3 baskets of white bread were on my head. So this is another guy, right? Another guy that dreamt about the same dream. Chief baker and chief cupbearer. So maybe if you're watching this, maybe one of you dreamt something about me becoming a content creator also. Were on my head. In the uppermost basket was all kind of baked food for the Pharaoh, and the birds ate them out of the basket of my head. Joseph answered, this is the interpretation. 3 baskets are 3 days. Within 3 more days, Pharaoh will lift up your head of you and will hang you on a tree, and the birds will eat your flesh off you. On the 3rd day, which was the Pharaoh's birthday, he made a feast for his servants and lifted up his head for the cupbearer in the head. On the 3rd day, with the Pharaoh's birthday, he made a feast for his servants and lifted up the head of the chief cupbearer and the head of the chief baker among his servants. He restored the chief cupbearer to his position again and gave the cup of Pharaoh's head, but he hanged the chief baker, and Joseph had interpreted. Yet the chief cupbearer didn't remember Joseph but forgot him. Okay, that's interesting. We'll stop here for today, but I want to do something very interesting. Well, as you can see, I'm like the cupbearer or the baker. I have a dream, but I have nobody to interpret my dream. So let's find an Isaac to interpret my dream, which is AI. I'll tell him my dream and ask him to interpret it. And then we'll find the true answer to my dream. So Hi, I have a dream and I want you to interpret it. Full stop. Background. I just started my YouTube channel like 3 weeks ago and have 48 subscribers and is very far from monetization and was working very late on my YouTube videos. And when I am obsessing over things in real life, I tend to dream about it too. Full stop. My dream was that I had a YouTube channel and I took videos of other content creators and made clips for myself and became monetized that. Wait, I'm spelling it wrong. Monetized that way, but after that my clips got removed because it wasn't my own and my subscribers and views I gotten was removed and I became not demonetized, and I didn't become monetized again. Full stop. Then after that, I created my own content, which is a harder road and became monetized again. With my own content and legitimately. Full stop. And then I woke up. Okay, let's see. Let's see what AI says. Well, I'll read it out to you. Okay, if you guys are wondering, you can hear. But I'll read it out to you. That's a pretty transparent one, honestly. Your brain basically wrote you a parable while you slept. Parable? That's a fancy word. I don't know what that means. You're 3 weeks into a new channel, working late, and certainly feeling a gap between where I want to be and the 48 subscribers. The gap creates pressure, and the pressure looks for shortcuts. Am I looking for a shortcut? Maybe. In my brain, I'm thinking, why is this so long? And I want a shortcut. The dream gave you a shortcut, clipping other creators' content, and then showed you in vivid detail why it doesn't hold. So it works until it doesn't work, because I didn't earn it, right? I didn't earn the views, the subscribers, the monetization, because I just stole content. It's just an easy work. So that's what the AI is saying. This basically, what's his name? Joseph telling me the interpretation of my dream. The gains weren't really yours, so they got revoked. Then gave you the other path, slow, harder, but yours, and let you succeed in it. So, wow, amazing dream. A few things that stands out to me. The removal part is doing a lot of work. It's not only that your shortcut failed, it's that everything built on it got stripped away. It went back to zero monetization. True, it got stripped away by YouTube. That's your own judgment about borrowed success. So my brain is like, no. Like I'm thinking, right, my what's it called? Like the brain that like the active brain and the subconscious brain. Yeah, the subconscious brain, I know I didn't really earn it. So my dream stripped that away from myself. Because I didn't earn it. I didn't earn it for real. So that's subconsciously I knew. Even if it works for a while, the fact that the dream didn't end at the failure is worth noticing too. Which I noticed, why didn't it just end, right? So normally you have a nightmare. And the worst part, you wake up, right? So the nightmare can be like, I got demonetized again and I should wake up. But I didn't wake up that time, right? It's only after I got monetized for real with my own hard work, then I woke up. It moved you towards the harder legitimate path and let you win there. It's not about it's not a warning dream. It's more like a rehearsal of the outcome you really want, with a reminder of which route gets you there. So maybe it's God telling me, you know there's two paths. You can do it fakely and copy people and steal their content and make it your own. Or you can do it for real. Create your own path. It's gonna be harder, but it will stand the test of time. Well, it's a lot. Let's see. Not only it's more like rehearsal of what you really want, with a reminder of which route gets you there. The late night working and obsessing over things, doing this kind of dream replay is really common pattern. By the way, your mind is processing the day's preoccupations during sleep isn't mysterious or fated. It's what brains do when it's overloaded into them. So my brain's overloaded into making content. If anything, I take it as a kind of value check of your own subconscious handed you. You already know at some level, you're not even consciously second guessing, that you want a slower legitimate growth over a shortcut that could be crawled back. That's a pretty solid thing to know about yourself 3 weeks in, before you have made any actual decisions about how to grow your channel. Wow, what amazing interpretation by AI, Claude. So I'm supposed to learn something, right? So I'm gonna grind this legitimately. Oh, wow, I have a first comment. You're doing God's work, brother. Oh, am I? No, I'm just a man. So, and thank you for your comment. He's so 777. Wait, you must be religious because 777 is God's number. So I'm supposed to learn something from this interpretation, right? So if people tell you an interpretation of your dream, you're supposed to be like, so what's my answer? Well, my answer is to work on it until I legitimately find the success. Not fake success. If that's what my dream came to me, and that's what AI interpreted my dream as, must be true. And I don't know if I'll just yep for another 5 minutes before I end the stream. I want to say, do you guys have the same thing as me, where you are so obsessed over something, and then because of that you dream it in a dream, and you keep thinking about it, and you keep thinking about it, and then you dream in a dream, and you keep thinking about it, and then you just become crazy about it? And if you do, and you can relate to me, well, that's nice. Or am I just weird for just dreaming about YouTube? Working on YouTube every day on my waking hours, and then when I sleep, I think about it too. So I'm like twice the brain power most people think, right? And that's amazing. That's amazing coincidence, or maybe it's luck, or maybe it's planned, that I had a dream last night about this. And the Bible chapter we read is about a dream today. What's the chances? The dream and the dream. And then because of that, I relate the dream to my life. And not only that, because Joseph interpreted the dream for him, which led me to think maybe AI can interpret my dream for me and find the hidden meaning behind the dream, which I wouldn't even think about doing. But because I read the Bible today, I got the hidden meaning. Aha, the hidden meaning, which is don't take the easy way out. Wow, look at this wall. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will be back later after I rest for a few hours because I want to finish this Bible challenge as soon as possible. And thank you guys so much for watching. And if you guys have a dream also, please write it in AI and let it interpret it for you. Maybe you got a hidden meaning like me.